Hi, I'm Takeshi. Thanks for buying oil and water. This is my version of the oil and water plot. In most versions of oil and water, all the cards are facing the same direction, and after being squared, the effect takes place. But it can't be done visually. So people will use the presentation of oil and water, or they'll do this gesture with the fingers. Some explanation's needed, but with oil and water, you express this through the effect itself. Another approach you often see in oil and water is for the cards to be separated into two groups. The faces of one packet are shown, and then all the cards become the same color to show the separation. But I'm not a big fan of this approach. And this is for two reasons. The first is that the technique has to be done at the same time as the effect. In other words, a color change. From a magician's point of view, it's quite a nice effect. But for lay people, even though they don't know exactly what you did, they sense that you did something as the effect was happening. And this makes it less magical. The second reason is that in many cases, the middle card changes color to match the outside cards. But that stops the effect being this. And more accurately, it's simply a transposition of the middle cards. Oil and water eliminates the feeling of sleight of hand while making the effect very visual. Here is the explanation. Take out 3 red cards and 3 black cards from the deck. As long as there's a contrast, any cards are fine. For the explanation, I'll use these. After you remove them, display the cards like this. Incidentally, this is the same display as I'll do at the end. So, start by taking the 3 black cards in the right hand, turn over and place onto the left. Take the red cards with the right, turn over and spread them a little. Show the faces to the audience. This confirms that you're using just 3 red and 3 black cards. Next, turn your body to the left and place the red cards on top of the black like this. You're going to be switching the 3rd and 4th cards and placing these 3 down onto the table. Bring the packets together like this. Here, you'll want to make sure that the 3rd and 4th cards are nicely aligned. And hold the edge where the 2 cards meet with the flesh of the thumb. The tip of the thumb will be contacting the top 2 cards. Keep in place as you brush the table. Switch the 3rd and 4th cards and place on the table. When executing the switch, you'll need a reason to bring the right-hand cards onto the left. And here, you want to put these cards down, but as you're about to, you notice some fluff on the table. That's the impression you give. And in order to brush it off, you need to free the right hand. The cards are in the way, so you transfer them to the left. That's the justification. Next, as you switch and place on the table, you don't want the focus to be on the cards. So here I add a lookup. This is as if to say, oh, now it's clean, we're ready to start. And place them on the table. The other cards are squared neatly in the left. Adjust the position of the cards on the table. But what you're really doing is subtly flashing the face of this card. This subconsciously sells the illusion that the black cards are all still here. After the cards are repositioned, on this card here, the right-hand card, you'll place the top card. From here, turn the wrist, push off one with the thumb. This is the red card. Once it's been pushed off, place it on the right-hand card, but at 90 degrees. Try to make it as neat as you can. Next, the thumb pushes the next card off, and it's placed on top. This has the same effect as a frustration count. Finally, place this card on top. Next, you're going to reassemble the piles. The way to pick them up is from the bottom left corner. Push down here. This will raise the other side up. Put the right hand underneath, pick up, and the cards should stay together in place. This is the best way of picking them up. Put them neatly on top of the middle cards. In the same way as before, you'll pick up the whole pile together. Next, you won't place them down like this, but instead at 90 degrees. But of course, doing it directly is very obvious, so you'll first flash the faces like this. Now, the middle packet really is red and black, so you can show it cleanly. You'll also want to look yourself before looking up, as if to say they're still mixed. Then turn the wrist back down, and the cards will very naturally be turned 90 degrees. In sequence, it's this. And it's done. With all 6 cards together, pick up the whole packet. Next, what you'll do, I'll show you this from behind, is this bottom card is going to get rotated 90 degrees. The pivot point is the tip of the middle finger. The middle finger's placed here, so it's just touching the edge of the bottom card. And the whole packet is held by the thumb and index. The card is rotated with the ring finger. Pull the bottom card like this and turn 90 degrees. I learned this movement from Joshua Jay's variation of the convincing control. The timing for the move is this. Apparently, you're just picking up the cards and placing them in the left hand. And this is when it's done. In detail, place the right hand underneath, pick up the whole packet. As the left hand turns palm up, rotate the bottom card. The important thing here is the angle. If you do it at this angle, the card will flash. And from the opposite side, you have the same problem. The angle you want is level with the spectator's eye line. Turn the hand, do the move, transfer to the left hand. Next, you'll square the bottom card with the left hand. Like this. At the same time as this, the packet is transferred. When taking the cards into the left hand, you want to be in this position, with the thumb here, and the fingers on this side holding just at the very tips. The right hand takes the top packet from above. The spectators think it's 3 cards, but in fact it's only 2. Hold in place and move like this. This is apparently to show that the cards are still trapped. You now have a small bit of work to do. So you're here. Between this and the other vertical card, there is 1 horizontal card. As you move like this, use the thumb to square the horizontal cards like this. At the same time, lift up on the right-hand side and bring the 3 cards to the right. In context, it's this. Like that. So the second card from the top is sandwiched and aligned to the right. This part of the card, just here, is clipped by the right pinky and taken together with the other 2 cards. Like this. Next, you'll use the left index to suspend the whole packet. From below, it's this. Do a magical gesture, a blow, or simply wait for the cards to separate, but you'll want to give it some space. Then simply release the index, and these 3 cards will apparently melt through. These cards are placed down like this, mirroring the initial display. The right hand is a little difficult. The middle card is still held, the hand is turned over, and with help from the little finger, the middle card is rotated. And it's done so that when they're spread on the table, they form the same display as the start. I hope you enjoyed the routine, but you may have found it a little difficult. Well, in fact, there is a semi-automatic version of it. The effect isn't weakened at all, and in reality, it's much better suited to live performance. So, here it is. Here's the explanation. It starts off exactly the same as the sleight of hand version. Take the 3 black cards, take the red cards, display like this. Notice the fluff, brush it off, look up, and place the cards down. Reposition them again. This is all exactly the same. Show the face, look up, turn 90 degrees, and place on top. From here is where it starts to get different. The horizontal cards are picked up with both hands like this, from both sides, and moved to the left. But they're not moved parallel, but at 45 degrees, to here. This card you apparently left behind. Take it with the right hand, show the face, and place back like this. And it's in fact been rotated 90 degrees. But in picking up the card you left behind, it's very natural. To make this convincing, as you pick up the packet and place it over here, both your body position and your focus should be on this packet. This makes the leftover card feel much more genuine. Take with the right hand. You can flash the face if you like, and look up, as if to say, oops. Place on the bottom, and here the orientation is in fact as it should be, so you can do this nice and slowly. Like this. As before, place like this in preparation for the effect. This part is the same as the sleight of hand version. Hold the vertical cards, push them to the left, hold in place, and drop the bottom 3 cards. Spread the left-hand cards as before. From here, again click the card with the pinky. The left hand will take the whole packet like this. As you turn the wrist, the middle card is extracted and placed on the table. The left hand keeps turning, and the final 2 cards are dealt down. From the spectator's point of view, you're simply dealing them down, and the secret action is perfectly hidden. In sequence, it's this. When placing these cards down, you don't want the focus to be on the middle card. So once the red cards have been dealt and spread, act as if the magic is already over. Look up. And here is when you extract the middle card. As you deal it, you can look at the card. The final 2 cards are dealt for real, so you can display them very cleanly. So that was both the sleight of hand and the semi-automatic versions. The sleight of hand version was designed really for video. I eliminated small adjustments and movements, making it very good for the camera. But in front of a real audience, I performed the semi-automatic version. The part where you leave the card behind will never really seem natural on video, but in a real performance it's very natural, so you can eliminate a potentially difficult sleight. If I'm performing for magicians though, I'll add in elements from the sleight of hand version. In that way, it's a very flexible routine, so I hope you customize it and make it your own.